Morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
What do you need me to do? See if
Is it
the
working?
angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're blocking the way. Just go. Go stand on your mat. I guess it's okay. Ask them.
They can hear. Can you guys hear me? Put your thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right. Well, it's Monday time. Yeah.
The camera, we only see about 3/4 of your mat, just so you know.
Okay, tell me now.
No, the other way, Yes, there, got.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what we so. All right. Good morning, everybody. Funday. We made a last minute call to do it outside. So sorry for the immediacy in our setup, but we're all set and ready to go, I imagine. Just waiting for the boss to show up. But while she's figuring out what she's doing with her life right now, we'll get started. Let's come to the center of our mat. We're going to bring both feet together, ball of each big toe or the side thereof, and your feet. So I'd like you to take that touch of the ball of each big toe or the side thereof, and then step your ankles out ever so slightly so that the big toes kind of turn into each other. I can bring some straightness to the leg, and then I'd like you to kind of suck in the legs so that they feel like the inner thigh muscles have become active. Let's take a big inhale, and then as you do so, like you kind of draw in your belly, and then imagine each and every vertebrae of the spine elongating, joined by our bug friends today, the moms, right? Now, let's pull your shoulders up to the ears, open the palms to face forward, separate the fingers widely, use your elbows as a flexion point. So I want you to extend the elbows and then flex through them, bring them to 90 degrees, and then bring them all back straight again. And then do that one more time. And as you bring them back straight, imagine you're trying to really activate the triceps, those back arm muscles. And then draw your shoulders up to the ears, sweep the arms backwards, squeeze the thighs together as you straighten out through the knees. Take a big inhale and then let the arms sweep forward and all the way up to the sky. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, release the arms and pull your butt back and start to fold down. Let the fingertips descend all the way to the earth. Feel a nice stretch for your hamstrings. Take a big inhale as you extend the flat back. And as you exhale, let the back go into flexion. Enjoy a little bit more stretch. Now, the orientation of muscle use here. If you drifted forward, you feel a lot of pressure in the front part of the foot. I'd like you to drift your butt backwards. Keep the legs relatively straight. So you feel the weight bearing mostly in the heel. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Step your hands up onto the thighs. You should be in a tabletop type of position from the upper body right now. Let's take the shoulders and pull them to the sky. Then let's take the back of the head and pull it to the sky, all the while keeping in tabletop type of position. So we're just elongating the spine. Let's drift the hips backwards a little more weight bearing in the heels. And as you inhale, unhinge the upper body and sweep the arms to the sky. Step the toes straight forward, just about hip width apart now with our foot in its stance securely under the body. So you separate the fingers, pull with them so the arms elongate and almost pull your shoulders up and out of the body. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, fold all the way down. Walk your hands out to the front part of the mat as you step your feet back into plank. Let your chest kind of drop in between your arms. Take your tailbone, pull it up to the sky as we come into down dog. Push high into the toes. Drive the heels into the earth and oscillate between toe and heel. So high. Now, as you roll onto the toes, make sure we're not rolling out onto the baby toe. I like the big toe to be the pronounced and weight-bearing toe that you're pushing up onto. And then the heels just drive back to the earth equally. Come back up onto the toes. Sweep the upper body back into your plank pose. And then gently lower the knees just above the mat. Now pull the hips backwards. As far as you can, then come back to your plank, straight leg. Knees bend and float. Hips pull back. And then come back to plank. And then knees bend and float it back. And then gently lower the knees onto the earth as you pull your hips all the way back to child's pose. Take the right palm, using the baby finger of the right hand as a hinge point, open that palm to the sky. Then roll it back onto the earth. So the palm and palm are, each hand is on the earth. Same side, same thing, opposite side. And then oscillate between left and right. But 3 counts between each side. 1, 2, 3. And then let's everyone meet with both palms on the earth. Walk the hands back underneath the body. Separate the knees to the width of the mat. Let's do the same with your feet. Make sure again, big toe. It's a big day for the big toe. Really big day. Use that Ed Sullivan reference there. Really big day. So keep that right toe, left toe, all there of each of them. All nicely connected to the earth. So toes are tucked under. We're going to drift the hips backwards. Kind of sink down a little bit, kind of like you're in a frog-like type stance. Take the back of the head and lift it towards the sky. Drift back up onto all fours. Let's walk the hands forward and we come back into child's pose. In our child pose today, we practice now. I'd like you to keep your forearms off the mat. With an opportunity to come into the shoulders and the muscles that interact with them. Give a little bit of stretch to relax some of your smaller muscles that interact with the shoulders, that step the hands back in. Now, let's push the shoulders so that the capsules kind of push away and are more towards the front. So your back is a rounding, not necessarily from the top to bottom, across the shoulder blades itself. And then we're going to take the chest and push it through the arms. So now we feel an external rotation within the shoulders itself. Let's pull your belly button up and into the spine, and then let the head drop as you bring flexion into the spine. That's what the spine bends top to bottom. Now add the shoulders so left to right. We're going to push off the earth and let the back round, really in 2 spots, top to bottom and across the shoulders. And then we're going to push the chest through the arms, bring straightness back to the spine as we pull the back of the head and the tailbone and flip it towards the sky. Hollow out the belly, back to neutral spine, with your toes still tucked under. Big toe, the ball there out, still feeling a little stretch over it. Let's elevate the knees, then lower back down, and lift it back up. And do that a few more times at your own pace. This time, as you elevate the knees, pull the hips on the back, drive your heels to the earth. If you step your feet forward, up and in between the hands. So inhale and extend to a flat back. And this time, as you bend both knees and lower that booty, Let's walk your shins onto your palms onto your shins. My sentence is going out in reverse order today. Now, if your elbows have swept in towards your body, I'd like you to sweep them away so they have kind of a nice broad profile. Push the palms into the shins and extend the spine. See if you can give me a deeper knee bend. And as you deepen the knee bend, row the spine, keep your butt low, but take the upper body and start to unhinge the hips and let the palms just slide up towards the kneecaps. So it's a very modified squat-like position, almost like you're skiing. Now we're going to bring ski poles into play. Let's take the arms, extend them forward. A little analogy, basically what I took from our vacation, ski vacation, of course. Separate the fingers widely. Now, take your knees, pull them together. Take your arms, sweep them to the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, stand tall, keep reaching for the sky. Oh, big breath. Powerful exhale, half forward fold. Arms sweep in beside the body. Rotate your palms, face the earth. Kind of like a ski jumper of sorts. If you are able to now, bring some more straightness to the leg. While you work to keep those knees virtually locked out, draw your butt backwards. And when you do so, I'd like you to feel the chest proudening. And then let's rotate the thumbs towards the sky. Take a big breath in, stand tall, sweep the arms forward and up as you inhale. As you exhale, bring hands over heart. Take the right foot, step it forward, and take the left foot. I think you know what I'm going to say. Step it back. Now, orientation of work. I'd like you to take the ball of the big toe, front foot, and just get it connected. So we're not forcing it down, just so you feel the skin underneath the ball touching the mat. We're going to bring straightness to the front leg. I'm going to keep the back leg straight. Take the heel of that left foot, drive it down onto the earth, and then push back up. Now, again, like we practiced earlier, the ball of the big toe of that left foot is the joint that your weight is pushing over. Do this a few more times, and then hold up, heel high into the sky. We're going to take the upper body now and lean it forward. I know we had a little lean, but we're going to try a little more, right? So a little more, and just hold on that. And now we're going to bring the arms into play as we extend left and right forward together. We've separated them shoulder width apart. We've separated all those fingers. We're going to raise those arms as we inhale. And as you exhale, let's slowly lower them and sweep them all the way back. Spiral the thumbs backwards. Opening up a lot through the chest. Take a big breath in, and as you do so, slowly bring the arms forward and up. And then slowly bring them back and down. Open and expand. Big breath in. Hands come forward. You got it now, right? Say yes, just nod. Come back. And let's do this a couple more times, your own pace. You're going at my pace. It's nice and slow. You feel a nice little burning sensation going on in that right butt cheek, maybe down the hamstring. Let's hold the arms up. Let's bring hands over heart. Let's take the back foot, step it forward. Beautiful. No nothing. Yeah. Push your hands to the sky. Exhale, fold down, step it back to plank. I haven't forgotten about the other side. We will get there. I promise. Give me a push-up. Oh, you did that so well. Give me another one. Oh, even better than the first. One more. Down, up, pull up and back to down dog. Drive the heels to the earth with that nice lengthening through your hamstring on the right side. Get ready, left side's coming up. Step your feet to the center part of the mat. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, lift the hips backwards. Taking that extended back, let it go into flexion. And then as you inhale this time, unfold the body, come all the way back up. Reach for the sky. Inhale, extend. Hands come over heart. Setting up, opposite side. You knew it was coming. Whoops. A little more shaky, right? Because you already know. I have an injury on one side, it doesn't function as well as the other. All right, so TMI. Now, back foot. Take the heel. Oh, let's get the foot. Ball of the big toe connected. Back heel drives down. And up. And down. And you can continue. See if you can increase the range of movement in the joints each subsequent iteration. There's a big word. Oops. All right. Coming high with the heel on that back foot, making sure we've got that nice orientation. Let's bring some straightness into that front leg. Let's take the upper body and fold it forward a little bit. And then extend the arms together forward. As you inhale, raise those arms to the sky. And as you exhale, lower and spiral thumbs opening through the chest as they sweep backwards. Keep the chest proud. Inhale, sweep forward and up. Exhale, sweep back. You've got this now. Slowly through these repetitions, building the heat in the body and in that left hip. Hopefully you got it burning going on by now. You're like me. It's like, hello, good morning. Couple more times. Inhaling, trying to extend and increase that range. Exhaling back, doing the same. This time as you extend forward and up, hold, bring hands over heart, step the back foot forward. Woo, woo, woo. Hands push to the sky. Big inhale, exhale, fold it all the way down. You arrive with fingertips upon the floor, step it back to plank. Nice. Now, because you loved them so much the first time, 3 more again. Hover low, hover high. 2 more times. Third time up, hips pull up and back to down dog. That nice pull, tension that helps keep that muscle that you just exercised, the hamstring. Little reprieve. Drive your heels to the earth. Step both feet to the center part of your mat. Separate them to the width of the mat. Turn your big toes into the center line of the mat. And as you inhale, extend. Keep the back in extension, straighten both legs, and then drift the hips backwards. So we're using a cantilever of sorts, the upper body, allowing us to bring more weight bearing into our posterior chain. So the hamstrings, maybe even a little bit of the lower back should feel tension to it. Now as you inhale, extend the spine a little more. As you exhale, fold the upper body down. Cross hand over opposite elbow. Just kind of cupping them, enjoying a little bit. Rock forward. Rock back. And then within the feet, as you rock forward and back. Figure out where you have an equilibrium of weight bearing. And when you find that, hold on that spot and then see if you can just like let everything go. Now bring your fingertips back to the earth. Again, this is an advanced, not advanced, but it's depends on hip flexibility. So if you have a lot of flexibility in the hips, fingertips to the floor is a good option. And if it's not there today, you can always have your shins or your thighs as an option for hand placement. Just making sure we're all aware of that.
Participation happens, has to happen on our own terms, right? Everyone's body is a little different. Now, as we hang up and enjoy this, let's see if we can drift the hips backwards a little more. And as you inhale, continue to extend spine and see if you can tabletop or bring your back parallel to the earth as best you can. Let's everyone step our forearms onto the thighs. Right in this like nice supported position. So this is really great lengthening opportunity. We lengthen the hamstrings by the knees themselves. Seems kind of contradictory because conflicted, because we always think of hamstrings, hips, but it really is the knee joint itself that helps to find length in that particular muscle. So as you work to get the legs straighter through the knee, should help find more of a stretch in that muscle. Now that we've beaten the horse dead, let's walk the palms onto the thighs, and then keeping the hips pulling backwards, let's extend the spine and unhinge. So we kind of have a chop point, meaning the hip itself, we're just taking the upper body and unfolding it. Let's bring our hands onto the hips, and then take your right hip and push it out to the right side. And hold on that for 1 second, and then come back center and go opposite side. So these muscles that you might feel a little tension in are those lateral stabilizers of the hip. And one of those muscles, tensor fasciae lata, sounds like your favorite coffee, right? Can I get a tensor fasciae lata with extra cream, please? Is the one that really, yeah, so we switch over to the left side. Enough of the bad humor, let's keep moving on. All right, so as we switch over to the left side, let's try to grow the spine as we make these movements happen. Just oscillate between the left and right. So that muscle itself has a descending part called the IT band. You probably have heard that in your fitness endeavors. And that IT band has tension in it because of the muscle that we're actually stretching right now. This is a good stretch for it. Just a long-winded of saying, you know, if you have time in your day to do this, just feel free, crank a few up. Now, little short bursts side to side. I'm having real trouble with words today. And then we're going to kind of ground ourselves. So let's bring it to a stop and then find the feet focused right now. Heels have most of the weight bearing, but just a touch of each big toe of each foot. Toes are still turned in, correct? Yeah, good. Now, sweep the arms out to the side. Take a big inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. As you're sweeping up, let's pull that belly button up and into the spine. Let's turn the palms to face. Let's draw the hips backwards as we keep the hands up. Now you're going to begin to feel the upper body, even the middle back, beginning to feel work in it. That's good. Come back up to standing. Reach for the sky. See if you can grow the shoulders out of their joints, like towards the ears even more. I know we practice not to do that because it's not necessarily great exercise, but it is in this case because we're working some specific muscles in the back. Let's draw the hips back. Keep a big inhale, filling the lungs. Exhale, standing tall, pulling to the sky, hollowing out the belly. Keep the belly hollowing out, draw the hips backwards. Try to keep the legs relatively straight. We're just pulling the hips back, get a big hinge point through the hips. Take a big breath in as we hold. As you exhale this time, let the fingers drip down towards the floor. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, drip the hips backwards. Keep the hips drifting backwards as you let the upper body flex in, lower down, lengthen out. Enjoy life. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. And as you exhale, roll back down. Step the toes straight forward. Bend both knees. Walk both palms to your shin. Make sure your elbows haven't drifted in as you push and extend the spine. Lower that butt even more. Now keep the butt down. Unhinge the body. This time we're going to sweep the hands backwards. Now watch. If you rotate internally, the thumbs come inside. If you rotate externally, have an upper body reaction. Basically, the shoulders themselves are really opening up. You should feel a little pull across the chest. Now, tension in the lower back, a little. If it gets unbearing, if it feels like, oh, way too much, you need to protect it. You need to grab those six-pack muscles and really kind of like engage them. Push the chest forward as you make it proud. Take the arms, sweep back a little more. As you inhale, bring the arms forward and up. And now we have a different kind of perspective here. We were doing this with a straight leg before. Right now, we're going to try to lower down into the squat-like position as we keep the arms nice and tall. Mark, I know you like to modify this. That's great. It doesn't have to be high arms. Stand tall, inhale, bring them all the way up. We could do it in an arm forward type position, just challenging the muscles of the back ever so slightly while we try, as we try to raise the arms and then stand tall. Inhale. One more time down. Butt back, dropping down, arms reaching as high as they can. Big inhale, exhale, woo. Hold it halfway forward. Arms come beside the body. Spiral the thumbs to the sky. Tabletopping the back. Legs are straight. Big inhale, sweep the arms forward. Big exhale, fold all the way down. Have a seat. Oh. Kirsten's like, are you sure about that? Yeah, let's have a seat. Nice. Well, welcome to New Year's. Grab a little bit of water. Good stuff. A little article about hydration. It's basically a restating of things that people already know, but it's amazing how much water can help your complexion and just other bodily functions. Just saying. Now, we're going to bring our feet slightly forward. The bend in the knees and put down, if you know what 90 degrees is, it's going to be a little more obtuse, 90 degrees. Toes are going to be flexing. So instead of like pointing, flex them. And I'm going to bring some length to the spine and activation to the belly. I'd like you to pull it in towards the spine as you crowd out the chest. Bring the arms forward. Now, this is when the shoulders have rotated internally. This is what it looks like. If you see yourself on your screen and you look like this, try to make it look like that. You know? Draw the shoulders, opening those blades, making them rotate externally, keeping the chest nice and proud. Pilates style now. We're going to lower down onto the mat. Dropping the tailbone, one vertebrae at a time, coming down. And when you arrive, let me just reset the microphone. When you arrive on the mat, all the way down, take your arms all the way above the head. This time, point the toes and use the fingers and the toes as pulleys, as pulling mechanisms. Pull with the toes so the legs find nice length. Do the same with the fingers. Imagine the belly button region of the body to the point that both the toes and fingers pulling apart. Let the belly hollow out. Bring your arms back up over the chest. Step your feet in just about an inch or two. So I think you know where we're going with this. Keep the heels about hip width apart. The toes are back in flexion now, so we have them pulling in. You should feel the shin muscle, make a shin splint in the front part of the shin. Highly active. I've rotated at this point my thighs into touch as my big toes are also communicating once again back together after a long time. And I'm squeezing my inner thighs. That's all I'm doing right now. So my arms are pointing up at the sky. I'm going to take my arms and lower them down beside the body. So I rotate the palms into the mat. I'm going to cup my fingers. So the areas of the body that are touching my mat right now, tailbone, my heels, my fingertips, and my shoulder blades. Oh yeah, and the back of my head.
all connected. All the while, we've been squeezing the thighs. You should feel a little bit of trembling. If you don't, squeeze harder. And then on the next breath, relax everything. Step the legs out, point the toes, pull the hands back above the head, pulling from the belly button both directions. Inhale and lengthen. And then on the exhale, bring the hands back over chest. Step the feet in ever so slightly. They're hip width apart, remember. Toes go into flexion, thighs turn in, toes touch, back together again. Squeeze the thighs, and then I'd like you to kind of get a play or understanding how the knees are in play right now. I'd like you to try to make the angle of the knee, the openness of the knee, as good or as far away from the, or getting the heels as far away from the body as possible, so that that angle is as great as it can be, while you're still able to keep the inner thighs actively pulling together. You've got that point. Keep the inner thighs pushing into each other. Lower the arms, palms facing the earth. Broad up the chest this time, but also hollow out the belly. As your fingertips arrive upon the earth, use them to push into the earth. And then with that, in conjunction with the back or the posterior muscles of your legs and butt, I'd like you to push the heels into the earth. You're going to feel a lot of activation through the groin, maybe through the gluteals, definitely through the hamstrings, pushing strong into the earth as you try to elevate your tailbone up off the earth, and then lower back down and extend everything back out, stretch it all the way up. Beautiful. Focus this exercise mainly in inner thighs, and should have also a little bit of hamstring going on. Let's come back with the arms overhead. Let's set up the heels. Let's rotate the thighs into touch. Let's keep the squeeze of those inner thighs. Let's move the heels back or forward wherever it gives that optimal amount. It's not about getting the hips up. That's not important. That's an activation sequence. So it's not a, oh, I did that and I want, no, it's about activating muscles. So that's part of the activation sequencing. So yeah, and if I'm, oh, I got to get it. No, you don't have to get it up. In fact, if you got it up, it might be because your feet are positioned too far or too close to your body. So farther away is actually better. Now, lower the arms, fingertips touching the earth, proud of the chest, hollow of the belly. Now push with the heels and see if you can get the tailbone up off. Working hard, we're going to push down, we're going to relax any tension in the neck, right? And then relax everything, extend everything out opposite way. This time we're going to pull the knees up and into the chest and bring the forehead up to meet the knees and rock and roll up to a seated position. Hopefully that exercise is a little different than you might have been doing in the past. Anyway, we're now up in a seated type position, just like we were earlier. This mic resituated. Going to bring our arms out. And so this is what spinal flexion looks like if you're in a seated position. And this is what spinal extension in the seated position should look like. It should come up with broad, stable, broad through the shoulders. Now, as you inhale, let's raise the arms to the sky. And as you exhale, let's lower them back down. And then I'm going to reposition myself because the next bit of this exercise involves sweeping the arms out. So if you're working with a partner, make sure you're not slapping anyone in the face. Now, as you inhale, open. Take the thumbs, rotate them backwards. The palms are facing the sky. Use the fingers to pull arms off the center line of the body. Pull, 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 pull. Come back forward, shoulder width apart. Inhale, straighten, lengthen, pull. On the exhale this time, extend the legs forward and pull in between the legs, folding down. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. Up to a seated position. Let's just reposition. I'm going to reposition myself in the back because I had to make sure I kept my trusted partner
I'm gonna swing my arms. I'm gonna lie it all the way down now. Take this mic back so you can hear me. Too much information. All right, so we're gonna do this nice stretch we did yesterday, and I love it. It's very appropriate for today because we did that class yesterday with Kirsten, and all of those muscles that we really worked hard hopefully need a little stretching. So I'm crossing the right over the left. I'm using the ball of that left foot and the heel of that left foot as a hinge as I pull that left leg towards the right side of the body. I want to just pull down where I can float the knee. Getting it down is not as important as getting that nice tension in the muscle. We want to stretch. Let's take the left hand. You might notice my left shoulder has rolled off the earth. Kind of feeling where it rotated the upper body. It's going to do that. Now, as I reach back, I'm reaching back diagonally. You may notice or not, depending if you're doing the stretch, you won't notice that my left shoulder has not touched the mat. I have it extended, and I'm actually lengthening that whole side body by leveraging my hips. Using literally pull the hand, arm, and shoulder, all the way. And roll back up. Switch up sides. The leg cross, same setup, same hinge points. Land it all the way down. Reach the right hand in the sky, reaches back diagonal. It's kind of like a tug of war, like here's five. Fulcrum, really that's there, even stretching the right side. Pulling right through the right neck. All the back, through the bridge. Doing all that. It's back. Thoroughly enjoying that. Knees up and into the chest. Forehead comes up to meet the knees, and then just rock it around a little bit. I like to independently rotate my legs. Some people like to do it together. Whatever is best for you, whatever you like. Maybe it's just a habit you enjoy doing. Just roll around and like everything. Relax. Rocks from side to side too. That's always good. Articulates the lower joints of the spine. Some fluid in there. And I'm going to pull the knees a little closer to the chest. Bring my forehead up to the knees as I rock side to side. Big, strong. Practice the main muscles. A little bit of massage. Comment. And then the actually, sorry, come the left to right roll and then rock forward to back up into the seated position. Yikes. But lots of time. Good stuff. Now, let's separate the feet nice and wide. Let's bring our fingertips down in between the legs. Here comes the boss. There's Lily, and then we're going to kind of keep the spine straight as we hinge forward. And then at a certain point, your body's going to say, "This is as far as I can go," and that's fine. So that means we've created enough tension along the lower part of the body, like the hamstrings. And then we're going to bring in some flexion to the upper body and let the upper body spine basically flex forward. May slightly increase the tension in the hamstrings. But the reason we actually go in with a long spine to begin with is so that we really are practicing hip flexion as opposed to spinal flexion. There's a difference. We try to get our upper body close to the spine, kind of stretching the posterior muscles as effectively as we can. Once we know we got a good stretch with the front and the second.
Nice palms. All right, let's walk the hands back. Back into seated position, step the feet back in. And then I'm gonna come back. Sorry, lean back, and I'm gonna grab my kneecaps with my hands. I'm gonna try to float my feet. And then again, spinal flexion, internal rotation, shoulders. We have shoulders extending, opening up through the chest, through the spine, nice long. Your head is falling into your belly. Throw it. Imagine the back of the head being pulled towards the sky. Let's use the arms now. As we pull with the arms, like make the chest nice and proud. You're gonna feel an activation across or along the back, spinal column in particular. I have my eyes closed. I got the sun beating into them right now, so I'm not trying to avoid eye contact with anybody. And as you pull harder with the arms, make the chest a little prouder. Now, with that activation you've created, we're on our sit bone. We've got our feet floating. We're going to release the grip off the kneecaps. You're going to feel the hip flexors go boom. Extend the arms forward. Keep the hip flexors active. Pilates style, take it down. Take the legs, extend them straight up and into the sky. Flex the toes, push up with the heels. Now to your tailbone. See if you can take it up off the mat. That's an interior rotation of your pelvic girdle. Feel the six-pack muscles heavily at work. Push the heels higher to the sky. The break. Tailbone will back down on the mat. We're going to do this a couple more times. So inhale. Push the heels high to the sky. See if you can kind of rotate the pelvic girdle up off the mat. Tailbone is lifted up off the mat. Again, this is a neck pre-tension zone, right? We're just activating that rectus abdominis, that six-pack muscle as we come back into this again. Push the heels high to the sky. You're hollowing out the belly. Remember, tummies look better when they're pulling in as opposed to bulging out. Lower back down. And then one more time. Heels push up to the sky. Push, 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 push. Really engage that six-pack muscle now. Add in a little kicker here. Take your shoulders up off the earth. Reach your hands towards your toe. Reach up higher. Hold for 5. And then as you lower down, extend the legs all the way straight out. The same thing with your arms. Should feel a nice release for all of the hip flexors and all of the muscles of the body. So inhale, extend, reaching back farther. And then as you exhale, just relax, that everything just kind of open up and fall to the earth. I'm going to reposition my arms so that beside my body. I'm going to step my heels so they're about hip width apart. Roll my toes out so my feet open up like a duck. And then I'm going to roll them back in together. My toes won't rotate into touch, but I'm trying to rotate them into touch. And then open back up again. Just doing a little bit of stretching in the smaller muscles that interact with the hips. Bring my feet back down onto the earth. So legs are bent. Feet are flat. My heels are close to my butt. I've stepped them in a little bit. They're a little wider than hip width apart. This is going to allow me to rotate my pelvic girdle so that my low back, you can feel the skin of the low back connecting or touching with the mat. Big inhale. On the exhale, let's reach the hands up towards the sky. As you inhale, draw the shoulders back, flatten out your shoulder blades, lower the arms down towards the knees. My baby fingers touching my thigh, each side. Inhale, we're going to kind of move the fingers inside the legs and pull up So we're reaching through with the hands. Backs back down. Pull the legs all the way out, stretching all the way through that midsection again. And gonna come back into this stretch again, one more time. Feet coming to the floor, relatively high, fingertips separated, reaching to the sky. Shoulders are still retracting, going down. Leveled out my low back, taking the back of my head up, and I'm reaching my fingertips up and in between my legs. And then I'm lowering back down, and then stretching it all the way back out. This time, pull my knees up and into my chest. Bring my forehead up to meet my knees. I'm going to rock forward to back, all the way up into seated position, finishing off in our staff pose. It's our first staff meeting of the year. I haven't used that joke in a year, honest to God. Now, as we stay in staff, be nice and tall. We're going to focus on postural behavior. We're not collapsing down. We've had some of us 30 plus years. I know you're older than that. Gravity, basically pulling the broad body down. We're going to really work this year to kind of negate a lot of that. Gravity thing really compresses a lot of our body. This is an opportunity to say, hey, I'm cool, chill, I'm decompressed. Stay nice and tall in our staff, bring hands over heart. Nice. Now, close your eyes and enjoy a little zen. What you got done today. Got a lot done today. Worked hard. Practiced a lot of things that'll help us move better, more stable. Did a great job. The next breath, fill the lungs with air. And as you release it, let me say thank you for being here today. Namaste. Nama didn't stay in bed. I say that one all the time. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go.
That was very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So what's going on today?
Well, I'm going to watch the Buffalo Bills game.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Uh, Cleaning, a bit of work, banana bread,
banana
Oh, that
bread.
sounds
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
banana, chocolate chip, blueberry.
Ooh, that's an interesting combination.
Yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, it's good. Fresh blueberries.
Blueberry.
Chocolate blueberries. Yeah. Your jokes were good today, Sean. They're good. I like the latte joke.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You
I know.
like
Did your wife?
married to him?
Yeah, I know. Kirsten goes, I can't stand them anymore.
I never heard that latte joke. What is it again?
The latte fascia latte.
Tensa fascia latte. It's latte. No, it's not a latte. Latte is a coffee drink. Tensa
I know.
fascia. Lata is the
Latte.
is the muscle. Yeah, it's a muscle on the.
Okay. Tencha fata lata. Da ba da ba da. All right, kids. And what's going on there in Florida? Has it warmed up enough for you?
Yeah, it'll be 80 today. Oh, I didn't stop the